An updated guide for deck building in Beyblade X. Most decks are 3 bays. You are only allowed to have one of each part in a deck. If I use 360 ball on one combination, I am not allowed to use any parts of that combination anywhere else in the deck with this exception. CX works the same. This combination is perfectly okay, but this one isn't because they share one part. This doesn't apply to lock chips that are of the same design because they are purely cosmetic, except for lock chips that specifically have physical differences, particularly the ones with metal on them. A typical Beyblade X round is 3 battles, the first one to 2 points. But it can also be 4 battles, the first one to 4 points. This and this pocket are worth 2 points. The bigger one is worth 3. Spinning longer than your opponent is worth 1, and fully bursting them is worth 2. Burst finishes only count when one or more of the pieces fully separate. That means if a Beyblade ends a battle like this, you do not consider it a burst, but instead a spin finish, a knockout, or an extreme finish like I mentioned earlier. The rules about the stadium also apply to every version of the stadium that you can buy, including the special Hasbro exclusive ones and the thinner ones that they sell. You are very rarely and only in very specific circumstances and places allowed to draw on your Beyblades before you bring it to a tournament. That means that custom paint jobs are sadly not allowed. The only real modification you're able to make is coloring or putting a sticker over the existing sticker, or very rarely and finically, you're able to paint the prongs, but not very often in tournaments. Paint jobs standardized by the company and released are completely okay. Height also matters. You can have 2 7 ratchets as long as they're a different height, and you can have 2 of the same height ratchets as long as they have a different amount of sides. It is the exact same type of ratchet that you are not allowed to play with. Bit variations are also allowed. This is ball, and this is free ball, a modification of the original one. This is completely okay. The same goes for bits like flat and low flat, a modification to the original, but because it's modified, that means it's different. Some parts are not allowed to be used after a certain amount of being worn down. Usually this is determined by a physical difference, so if you're able to see that the bottom of a bit is very clearly different than it was when you bought it, that's one of the examples, but there are also lesser known examples, so I recommend Googling it if you have any trouble, or going on Reddit or something. Special release Beyblades are also allowed if that's something that you worried about. You can use them, I just really don't recommend it, because why would you ruin something with such a nice paint job?